you know what? Let's take a moment and set our targets on that obnoxious feedback-giving monster Day 9 check source. You know what? I don't think devs talk about this enough, because if they did, they would get fucking blistered on Twitter. But isn't feedback from players the fucking worst, developers? Isn't sometimes the last thing in the universe you want the opinion of someone that's fucking playing your game? Oh my god. You know, there were issues with pathfinding. You know what? If you were working in a company and someone said, hey, there's huge issues with pathfinding. QA, thanks so much for pointing that out. Bug team would go, on it, thanks so much. And everyone would shut the fuck up. But if you're on the internet, people are, oh, I can't believe that they would... The pathfinding is a slap in the face. The number of things people have described as slaps in the face, every single time I see someone say it's a slap in the face, every single time I'm like, if only that person duct taped their mouth shut, duct taped their fingers into little penguin flippers, and then duct taped those together, and then sunk to the bottom of the ocean, the world would have been better off. There's no such thing as a slap in the face just because you don't like a thing. You didn't like it, that's what happened. It's not that someone caused you to not like it at you. Anyways, feedback sucks, man. When players sit down to give feedback, let's talk about some of the things that sucks about player feedback. First of all, did you know that most of the time people can only work on stuff one at a time? Did you know this? Because feedback givers don't. No feedback giver has ever wrapped their head around the concept that maybe the developers know that it's a fucking problem, but they can't do it because they have to do one thing at a time. That's the worst. Second of all, here's a different kind of feedback that we hate, which is, hey, I just sat down to play Dwarfheim, and my feedback is literally make this different game that's in my mind, right? Like, what if, now hear me out here, what if Dwarfheim was actually a 100 team kind of battle royale RTS? I mean, I really think that you can take your ideas and extend them to 100 players. I mean, sky's the limit, right? Fuck these players, man. It is the worst. God, I can't stand it. Do I do this sometimes? Totally. And it's horrible, and I hate myself. I absolutely self-flog after giving feedback every time because I'm an adult. Oh, God, what else is the worst about player feedback? Oh. You know, the never saying how it felt, saying what you should do. Have I done this 100 times just now? Oh, yeah, totally. And I know it, and I know it's bad. I know it's fucking bad. I know it's bad. What you should say something like, I was really frustrated that I couldn't get my workers to get to the tree to cut. I found that really frustrating. Right? The devs know, they see, they understand the moment that it happened, they can see what my emotional reaction was. Yeah, in the late game, I felt like I was unable to do anything to contribute to the end of the game. I felt like I didn't have any options. That's good, that's totally fine. You know what you should add at the end of the game? You should add a fucking blimp that you can crash into the enemy town hall. And the devs are like, what the fuck is Sean talking about? What is Sean talking about? And the blimp could load up other unused things from the mines like stones and fucking drop them on the enemy worker lines. The devs just like, what is this clown talking about? This clown is giving feedback. God, I can't fucking stand it. Oh my God. And you know, the funny thing is, feedback, invaluable to any form of creative production. It's invaluable. But that doesn't mean that everything that is said is valuable. To kind of catch what I mean? Kind of know what I mean? You ever played a game? I don't know. We've been talking about Dota a lot. You ever played a game of Dota and you lost your game of Dota? You ever done that? You've lost your game of Dota? When the game ends, you go, shit, I fucked that game up. You're good. You don't need any feedback. You don't need any feedback because, first of all, you know you fucked it up. Second of all, you have a whole bunch of things you need to work on. Third of all, you don't need any feedback. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, when my shoe's untied, I don't need any feedback. I just lean down and I tie my shoe. Or sometimes, my shoe's untied and I look down and I'm busy eating 2 donuts at once. And I'm like, oh shit, well, I'm eating donuts. My shoe's untied. I should be careful because I have sticky fingers full of delicious sugary food. I shouldn't just drop the fucking donuts and tie the shoe. Imagine you're in that situation, right? You're eating donuts. Someone comes in and says, Sean, your shoe's untied. And I go, I know. And they're like, drop your donuts, right? Listen, quickly. Let me get the neighbors in here. Get the neighbors in. Do you guys see that his shoes are untied? Isn't it important to give Sean feedback about his own fucking shoes? God, man. Can't even believe it. Cannot even believe it. You know, for instance, The devs, here's something that I think is completely reasonable. The devs that made Dwarfheim may have watched me late game with with the builders and gone, oh, the instant he figures out he can build that unit, it's going to be amazing for him. Right? I had a friend who played Dota and didn't buy items. Okay? My friend had like 8,000 gold with boots, wand, wraithband. 8,000 gold. Not even like power treads. Like boots, wand, wraithband. Like $800 of items. That's it. Nothing. I guess more. It's like $1,200. Doesn't matter. It's like nothing. 8,000 gold. He didn't buy it. And he's just like, this hero sucks. Like, you didn't buy it. Maybe the devs just saw that, and their answer is to just go, we're not going to fucking change the builder, Sean. That's fine. It's totally fine. That's a reasonable thing to do. It's a completely reasonable thing to do. Reasonable thing to do, man. Feedback givers are the worst. Please know, devs, please know this. I am fully aware that you know your game better than I do. I just played it for 6 hours, and you've probably been working on this for a few thousand hours, minimum. If you want to ignore everything I say, terrific, great, you should do that. And more importantly, why did I spend so long talking about it? Because I'm a content creator. You know what content creators do professionally? Let shit fall out of their mouth with a camera on. That's like 85% of my job. I think I have real compelling intonation. It's kind of fun to listen to me say shit. Is it valuable? Is it invaluable? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. Fucking content creators that give feedback. Ugh. Talk about a painful combination, man. That's so bad. That is so bad. I don't even know why I'm still alive. I think it's because Brit's working till like 10 p.m. I'm just like, I have nothing to do. I'm hungry. I'm actually so hungry. Why am I talking to you guys? What do you think, Sheriff? Sheriff doesn't give a fuck because Sheriff is behaving the way that most devs should behave when they hear feedback. Shouldn't even react. Just like, oh, you had a horrible time? Thanks for playing. It's out of the mind because I know what I'm doing. Lockwell says, yeah, but you have a unique experience with RTS, and I'm sure the devs are interested in your input. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're like, I wonder what this unusually sophisticated and clever and skillful RTS player has to say about our project. In RTS, I'm sure that they think that I would be an invaluable person to hear speak. However, 95% of what I say, they should probably just fucking ignore and do what they think is best because they understand the game better. Never confuse the fact that I am articulate and entertaining with knowing what the fuck I'm talking about in the slightest. It could very well be that they turn off the stream and they're like, yeah, we gotta fix pathfinding, and someone goes, I know. You said there wasn't enough units. Of course, it's an early access. Alright, that's it. That's it. Lockwell says, oh my god, that's not what I meant, but damn it, man, you have loads of experience in this game. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. I do have a shitload of experience. That's true. It's true. Oh, man. Game dev sounds so crazy. Yeah, you know, I actually think that there is, for some reason, I don't know how this happened, but the idea of feedback somehow got glorified. Like, somehow just like, oh, careful, everyone. You know, like if someone wrote down feedback, you'd be moving like the Ark of the fucking Covenant. Or, oh, careful. Don't let the feedback fall, lest it step into a puddle and become wet, and we lose the value of the feedback. Right? I don't know how this happened. Where it's just, oh, excuse me. I was wondering if you'd be willing to sit with me for a moment. I have feedback. How often should a dev go, no? I think almost always, right? Almost always. And yet somehow it's this just like, well, no, you should listen to my feedback because look, it's my feedback. It's important. You don't have to use it. You don't have to use it at all. But you should listen. No. Let's take a moment. Let's consider the following situation. Imagine we are done with the first quarter of the Super Bowl. Imagine if the coach went up to the quarterback who'd been having a rough first quarter and said, hey, look, before we send you back out on this field, we've gotten a whole bunch of feedback from dads at sports bars that are drunk, coaches of high school football teams, Players who you beat in the semifinals leading into the Super Bowl. People who are only watching football for the first time with their friends on a Saturday, Sunday, whatever the day is. And also, I have my feedback I'd like to give you. You know, like, the quarterback would probably be like, okay, coach, let's just only hear what you have to say. No, don't. No. You should listen to those drunken dads in that sports bar because they have feedback, and it's up to the quarterback to sift through what's valuable or not. No. I think it should be done in very focused, clear, concise, controlled environments. I like the idea of you get 95% of the way there with a particular idea. Not the whole product, but 95% of the way with like a chapter of your book or with an idea of your story. And then you go, fuck, but I'm wondering if it's a little bit too confusing at this part or whether it makes sense. You hand it to someone, you go, give me your reaction. And you're looking for, is this too confusing or does it make sense? And then they say to you, you know what? I was completely confused. You, fuck, I was worried about it. Damn it, I was worried that was going to be too, too confusing. Great. Perfect. That's useful feedback. If you're working on, let's say, I'm just imagining, let's say you're working at Dwarfheim, early development, and you put 3v3, two teams together, and nobody ever interacts with each other for the first 45 minutes. They just sit there building, and you go, ooh, shit, that's bad. Right? That's an interesting form of feedback. That's an interesting form of valuable thing where you go, oh, shit, I thought they'd be battling like crazy, and nothing's happening. Oh, that's kind of useful. That's the sort of thing that's actually a useful thing to hear early on in a project. But here's the thing that's not useful, right? Here's the thing that I just don't like. The truth is, often you'll be in a creative project, and if you went in this direction, or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one, all of them would lead to a good game. All of them. If Supergiant, that recently made Hades, at some point said, what if we just made a story-driven, action-heavy, isometric game similar to Bastion? I'm sure they'd make a good game. What if they said, why don't we make this, I don't know, a more slow, deliberate combat style like Dark Souls? They could probably make a great game. Instead, they went for this roguelike that has really intense, fast-paced combat. All three of these would have been a good game. And if you plot feedback down, or plot people down to try to gather feedback, sometimes you'll hear trends that are nothing more than taste. The combat felt kind of fast. You should do something like Dark Souls. And maybe you hear that from 10 different playtesters. Who cares? Who cares? Because as we know, you can make fast-paced combat fun. So who cares if 10 people who recently played Dark Souls and want to be the next Miyamoto are just like, I don't know, maybe just make Dark Souls combat. Who fucking cares, man? And to be clear, it's okay. It's okay if you playtest a game with fast combat and you say, I want it to be more like Dark Souls. That's okay to say. That's okay to say. I just don't necessarily think that someone should go, and my feedback is that the combat should be more like Dark Souls. Here, my gift to you. When I'm over at your house playtesting later, I'll look for it up on the most valuable place of your most valuable shelf. Yes, my feedback. Here's the interaction I want. You should make a game that's more like Dark Souls with slow-paced combat. And the devs to go fuck yourself. And I go, fair enough. That should be the norm in feedback giving. That should be the norm. Why is it just like, and this is my feedback, and what I'm looking at is a wet bag of baby shit. And I'm like, thank you so much for this feedback. I want to hold it close next to my heart where my soul is, because it's so good, your feedback. No, why is this? When did the feedback? Why? One of the greatest things I've seen recently is Twitter. Sometimes someone tweets, and when you click on the tweet, it says, only people that they follow can reply. I was like, it's amazing. Yeah, of course. Of course, because Simon from Ohio with 7 followers who's an egg is just like, this idea is bad and I wish your content was good like it used to be. Simon from Ohio, fuck off. I don't care. Mute it. Boom. You don't exist anymore. You're just a blue egg in my memory that blends in with all the other blue eggs that are forgettable. This is a good rant. I don't know if we can do anything with this, but this is the rant. This is the rant. Anxious. This must be so cathartic for day 9. Well, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to talk about, but also I think it's really important because I just spent a lot of times when I play a game, I don't know that much about this kind of game development. Like take Baldur's Gate 3 that I played recently. I am a player. I'm a player of the game who's just kind of enjoying it at a very superficial level, and that's all I think about. This is an RTS, which is the genre that I have essentially focused my life around playing. It was my formation in childhood, built my career on it, etc. I have a lot more to say and a lot of thoughts and a lot of opinions and all this stuff, and I just, oh, for God's sake, I hope the devs were just listening and going, fuck this guy. I hope that happened at least once, and if they don't do it, that's what this whole segment is. This whole segment is just an opportunity for any dev who ever hears me to say anything at any point to understand that it's totally okay, tell me to go fuck myself, because I'm just a nerd giving feedback, and it's just, I'll go, here's the feedback, and I sort of slide it across the table, and you can just like let it fall off the edge if you want. That's totally fine. I will never put on a velvet pillow and hand it to you, so please, my feedback. What a weird way to end this show. This was odd. This was fun. Goodbye. See you on Monday.